So many of my students love Dogman, and why? Because it's great storytelling. I know a lot of you would like to write a story like Dogman, full of action, funny, interesting, weird. Let's get started. I'm Kim Purcell, and I teach kids just like you how to write stories. Hit subscribe, hit like. Today we're going to look at Dogman because it's so funny and scary and you can't stop turning the pages. Maybe some of you have watched the movie, but I bet a lot of you have read the books. This video is going to help you whether you're going to write a graphic novel or a regular novel. If you're not big into drawing, you can definitely write a chapter book. Just like Dogman, it'll be so much fun. Are you ready? Here are 8 tips so that you can write a chapter book that's just as exciting as the graphic novel Dogman by Dave Pilkey. Tip number 1. Add detailed descriptions. The big difference in a novel is you have to describe the actions and describe the setting through the perspective of the main character. For example, if you look at this first scene, we have the chief looking out the door of the police station saying, "Oh boy!" Then we have the truck backing up. Beep, beep. So you'd have to write that down in your regular story. That detail is really important. The other detail you want to include is that a sofa is coming from Luke and Andrew's furniture store. You would put the name of the store in your actual writing. The other thing we have to do is the color of the sofa. It's not the most beautiful color. Lime green maybe, or maybe avocado green. You don't just say green, but you want to specifically describe it. Tip number 2. Add interesting conversation. In a regular novel, you put quotation marks around it, and every time someone talks, you put it in its own paragraph. Those are essentially the bubbles in a novel. In Dogman, we have funny dialogue throughout. Even though the couch is kind of ugly, one of his fellow officers says, "She's a real beauty, Chief." So we kind of see that the other people are trying to suck up to him, right? We also learn a lot about the chief because he thinks he's so special. He yells at everyone, "Come to my office. You can watch me break in my new couch." So make sure that your dialogue shows a lot about your characters. Tip number 3, add goals. All the different characters should have goals and they should conflict. The chief is so excited about this new couch. He wants to be the first one to sit in it. He says, "Oh boy, this is going to be great." So that's a little bit of foreshadowing because usually if someone said something like that, we know something might happen. Guess what? Officer Knight and Greg the dog are already laying on the sofa. They want to take a break, so they get in trouble. The chief tells them they're the worst cops ever. And now we get Officer Knight's new goal. I wish we could do something heroic to impress him. So I want you to think about, what is your character's goal? Every scene needs a goal. Your main character must have a goal, and then there's going to be a problem. Tip number 4, add a problem. In Dogman, the problem is the bad guys. Your antagonists have a goal, and they have problems too. They think they're the heroes of their own story. Your hero, your main character, has a different goal. Therefore, we have this crash of goals. They set up a bomb, and one of them says, "Help!" The officer says this, "Which wire should I cut? Red or green?" The dog says, "Grrr." And the reader is thinking, no, that's a bad plan. Tip number 5, add a mistake. It's really good if you can show them making a decision and probably making a mistake. Mistakes are great for stories because the reader is then like, "No, don't do it." Well, Officer Knight cuts the green. Boom! They're lying there. They're not in good shape. Tip number 6, add humor. Think of how you can explain things in such a way that would be funny. Can you change your wording? Can you use different expressions? Look at this example here. "Soon the doctor came in with some super sad news." So it's a little bit funny, super sad. "I'm sorry, Greg, but your body is dying. And your head is dying too, cop." It's kind of funny to just say your head is dying, right? There's something funny about that. Even funnier is that Officer Knight says this, "Rats, I sure hate my dying head." So it's kind of funny to say it like that. Tip number 7, add weird stuff. Dogman is filled with weird stuff. In this scene, the nurse and the doctor come up with this brilliant solution to put the dog head on the human body. Now, could you really do that in real life? No, but you could do it in a story. Tip number 8, add thought. We need to show the internal life of the character a little bit more than you need to in a graphic novel. Whereas a graphic novel is a little bit more like a movie, like you're watching it from here, a chapter book is more like you are the character. You're inside the scene itself. You've become the movie. So what are you thinking as you're writing? Here are the top 8 tips. Follow these tips. Start writing a chapter book. You can make it funny and weird, just like Dogman by Dave Pilkey.